Well, hello everyone and welcome to yet another Discussions with Dolf, and today I am coming to you from the heart of Jakarta. In fact, we're in what you could call Tamrin Square, and it is a Sunday morning, and the only significance of that and the thing that makes this day different from any other day of the week is that on Sunday mornings they close down the streets for vehicular traffic, so it's pedestrian only. You'll see the odd bus go through, but that's allowed. And it's sort of a time for people to celebrate. You'll see them out here en masse, dancing, walking, playing badminton, doing all manner of things. There's skateboarding behind me. A dance troupe just went by. And it just goes to show that this truly is a very hustling and bustling city at the moment. In fact, as some of you know, I've been coming here for quite literally decades. And I remember when I did my first tour of Indonesia, we did an event at the Ritz-Carlton in Jakarta here. Of course, that was a very nice hotel at the time, and it still is a very nice hotel, but it has since been not replaced but supplanted with yet another Ritz-Carlton. The original one is still there, still doing well, but they've got an even bigger, better, brighter one. I think I posted a photo of that to Instagram not too long ago. And my point is that this place is happening. Right here on your left, we've got the Grand Hotel Indonesia. It's behind the trees here. You can just see a corner of it. And that's one of the original hotels in this region. It's where Sukarno, the original president of Indonesia, is on a big photo, which of course now they've enlarged and put on the wall with Marilyn Monroe. JFK is here. It just goes to show how long this hotel has been there. And then behind me in the distance you can see the Grand Hyatt. That's where I've been staying more recently. And then over on your right you've got the Pullman Hotel, another great hotel. I've run a number of events there. And there are hotels all around, there are banks all around. This is sort of an epicenter of economic activity here in Jakarta. And I just want to make the point that one should not underestimate the economic power and the size and the mass of Indonesia. It is a country which is the fourth most populous in the world at around 258 million people. It's the most populous nation in the southern hemisphere. It spans about 7 time zones. It comprises 17,000 islands, of which about 7,000 are inhabited. Just an absolutely staggering statistic. And one of the things that always amazes me is when colleagues in the United States look at doing business down under in the southern hemisphere, nearly all of them fantasize about doing business with Australia, which I totally concur with and encourage and agree with. I love it in Australia. I've lived there, I've been to school there, you name it. However, it is not the only place in the southern hemisphere that one should consider. In fact, here's an interesting statistic as I'm trying to not be distracted by the antics going on around me that you probably can't see. There are more US dollar millionaires in Indonesia than there are people in Australia. And if that's not a compelling enough reason to look at doing something here in Indonesia, I don't know what. Of course, in a bizarre way, I'm quite happy that not everyone is doing a lot in Indonesia, because it means I've got essentially no competition. But even if I were to have competition, it wouldn't matter. The market is so vast and so massive. I think a bit of competition might be good. In fact, I'm thinking of generating my own competition, because competition's good, especially if in the local market you're seen to have competition here. So I might generate my own competition, and then we can be number 1 and number 2. But that's just a random thought. Anyway, you can see from the energy around it that people are having a lot of fun. Sundays are sort of a day off. I will say this, here in Indonesia, everyone works extraordinarily hard. They're willing to put in the long hours, do what it takes. I think it's a sign of an evolving economy, whereas those economies in the so-called West that have reached what I would call the status of the Roman Empire, they're more into hedonism and seeing how they can capitalize on all their worldly wealth rather than actually go out and create the worldly wealth. Just a random thought. But anyway, I'll swing around here because I think the lighting might be better this way. And right behind me, you've got the Mandarin Oriental, not the slummiest hotel in town, as some of you will recognize. A very nice chain. And the Mandiri Bank behind me there. And I guess I'd have to get the camera to go up. But on the top of this big body, you've got this massive emblem of Mercedes-Benz revolving around. It's never not been revolving. It's never broken down in all my visits here. And it just goes to show the lengths to which some companies are willing to go to advertise their brand in this up-and-coming nation of rapidly having masses of people into the middle class and to join the forces of those who've got a lot of money to spend to buy, well, not just motorbikes, you see them here, but cars and houses, and make investments both domestically and overseas. So there's nothing like capitalizing on that. And you can see it in two ways. Either you are unfairly benefiting from it, or you're offering them something for which there's a tremendous demand and which they cannot get on their own. Anyway, just some random thoughts from this Sunday morning here in a very warm and humid Jakarta. I want to thank you for being here, and until the next time, I want to wish you, as always, successful investing. Thank you so much.